Hello, my name is Yeji, otherwise known as ANdmadeco here on YouTube and on Instagram. Today's video is in the regular format with what I'm wearing, finished objects, works in progress, and I don't have any acquisitions for this video, but I know that since Saturday, April 26th, is local yarn store day, I will be going to my local yarn store, Tea Cozy Yarn Shops, so we'll see what I pick up, but that's for next episode. And speaking of next week's podcast, that's when I will share the winners of the giveaway, so there's still time to enter if you haven't yet, and that's based on the giveaway video from 2 weeks ago. So if you'd like to enter, then please go to that video and comment, and I will have it linked in the description below. I think I made quite good progress on my knitting this week, more than in the past weeks, and that's because it's actually been a little while longer than for past videos. So I think it's been around 9 days compared to a 7-day progress of when you will be seeing the videos. And that's because my husband has gone back to work now since his paternity leave has ended. And so we're now all getting our schedules reacquainted again and seeing when is the best time to film. And I haven't been able to film until now, and it's Friday evening, so it's 6 p.m. I'm really lucky that it's still bright outside here in Seattle, but this means that by the time you see this on Saturday morning, hopefully, it will be very recent. And usually I would have filmed either Wednesday or Thursday. And so that's why I think I have more progress than usual. Plus, I was trying to hold off on filming for a little bit so that I could finish my current sweater, which is the first finished object. And what I'm wearing is Baci Sweater by Monmi Choi, who is Soup Knits on Instagram, and I think it's even her company on Ravelry too, but in the author it says Monmi Choi, so that's what I'll have up here. And if you would like to knit the sweater, it does go up to a finished bust circumference of 60 inches. I think the model has a 35-inch bust, which is around 90 centimeters, and she is modeling the extra small, large, and the extra large size, if I'm not mistaken, in her photos. So I think there's like a wide range of the fit that you want for your garment. Personally, I knit a size 3, which would give me around an 8-inch of positive ease. Currently, my bust is sitting at around 35 inches, and I think the finished size for the size small or the third size is around a 43-inch. And so this is the oversized fit, and I'm really happy with the fit of the garment. And I will stand up and show you what it looks like. So the sweater is quite oversized, and I made it exactly to the pattern, including the amount of rows to put in the body. I think I put in 14 of the cable repeats in the body after the separation, after the purl ridges. And then for the sleeves, I made it slightly shorter, so mine only has 20, whereas I think the model in the photo had 22, and yes, I counted. And so I'm really happy with where it hits on my arms, as well as just how it fits. Even before I blocked it, it was quite roomy in the body, but the sleeves were quite short, so I wasn't sure how it would fit. But because it was a drop shoulder, I didn't want to risk having the sleeves be too long, since I don't like my sleeves super long. And so I made sure that it was at a length where I'd be comfortable, even if it wouldn't block out a ton. But I knew that there would be some give from the, usually for drop shoulders, it's around the seams where it completely relaxes. And as the body stretches widthwise, the sleeves also drop, even though the length of the sleeve might not drop completely because the cables are quite tight in the sleeves. It's the width of the body, I think, that made the sleeves longer. And so I'm so happy about this garment. It's really not the time to wear it because it's quite windy outside today, but it is warm and spring has definitely come. And this is basically a bulky weight sweater, and so I am quite warm, but I'm just really excited to show it off and so happy that I was able to finish. So the yarn I use for this garment is Wool Dreamers Mantelopes, and this is an unspun yarn in Azul Cobalto paired with Sandisgarn Tin Silk Mohair in 5845 Dazzling Blue. And together it made a really good pair. There are quite a few of the little hay pieces, I want to say it is, or some of the remnants in the garment even now, because I did try to take it out of the unspun yarn, but I couldn't really rip it out, being really aggressive because I didn't want it to, the yarn to come undone. But I think sometimes you can see the silk, the white core of the tin silk mohair, but in this garment, it doesn't really bother me. I think if anybody's looking at it, they would just see a royal blue sweater, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It is also very, very warm. Usually unspun yarns are quite warm. It does really hold in heat, and paired with a mohair just means that it makes it extra warm. And when I was knitting with this yarn, I followed the needle size that's given in the pattern, which is a US 10, a 6mm needle. And even though I think the Mantelopes is technically a DK weight yarn because it is 2 strands of the unspun yarn held together, but I would say with the mohair it could go up to definitely a bulky weight because I don't find my sweater loose at all, and when I was trying to do the cables I would find it sometimes hard. It got kind of hard on my hands as I tried to do a lot of these cables. These cables are quite tight, the repeats are short between the rows, and so just trying to do it, it did hurt after a while because I was really pushing myself to finish it. Now I'm fine, but as I was making it, I did find some soreness, especially in my pinkies, I think, where I was trying to grip my needles to make the cables happen. And as I was knitting with this also, I wasn't sure at the beginning of the cable definition, but I'm really happy with the cable definition. I think it turned out beautifully, and I cannot wait to wear this in the colder seasons, or if we have a cold front sometime in the next few days, then I'll definitely take it out for a spin. One of the things I did do before blocking it is I did see a lot of the project pages on Ravelry. The neckline was quite loose, and that's the only modification I made. Is I did do the half twisted rib on the neck, but I made it a little longer, and then I folded it in and added an elastic through so that the neck would sit very close to my neck. So this collar, I think on other people, is a little loose, and I wasn't sure exactly just the weight of this garment and the bulkiness of it. I didn't want it to stretch out and show too much of my collar. So because it is a winter garment, I decided to add in an elastic, and I made that elastic quite tight so it does fit over my head, but it's not really showing anything. If you see my previous videos, you know the progression of this garment, where it starts off with a back panel and then you do the front 2 pieces, join it, and then it's just top down from then. And I think as soon as it became in the round, it was quite mindless, and I was really happy I was in the rhythm of it. And because it is such a regular interval of when you do these cables, it was really easy to keep track of when I had to cable, when it was a cable row versus not. And because it was done on that US 10 needle, it did grow quite quickly. So when I say I was pushing myself, I wasn't really. I think the amount of time it took me to make this garment was quite short. So I think all in all, it took me maybe just over 2 weeks to finish this, but also it grew quite quickly, and I was trying to make it so that I would be able to show it off in today's episode. One of the things I also did was that I did the sewn tubular bind off, or the sewn Italian bind off, but with an unspun yarn, that meant that I had to be a little more precious with my needle going through, and I added my unspun yarn in multiple places because I didn't want to have a long piece and it would break off anyway. So I'm really happy that the mohair kind of held it together, and I really like the way that it looks, and I'm just really excited that the finished piece is what it is. The Baci sweater was on my make 9, and now I've made 4 out of the 9 items on there. This checks off the box for a garment made or designed by an Asian designer who is more size inclusive, and I hope to make more from more Asian designers in the future, and especially garments. I'm keeping my eye out. I have quite a few favorited. I've bought a few, and so I will hopefully get some progress on those as well. My next item is not with me because it was a sample for Tea Cozy Yarn Shop, and it is the Sleuth Beret by Katie Robbins, who is, I think, the owner and the dyer behind Fiction Fiber. This was a super fun knit. The colors I used were really beautiful. I made a reel about it of going through the process of making this beret. If you are interested, I always have my Instagram linked in the description as well. And it turned out very cute. I really love how it fits, and it is meant to fit from, I think, a 21 to a 25 inch head. I think if you are on the smaller size, they just recommend sizing down for a needle rather than the needle what it is. So there is really only one size. But if you want to have your beret be more floppy, then you can do more of the repeats, and she tells you exactly where to repeat, and then you can have it more floppy. But because it was a sample knit, I followed the pattern exactly, and the yarns were of course provided from Tea Cozy Yarn Shop. So they were the Fiction Fiber Girl Detective colorway, I think it's called. And it was in, the red was a really beautiful red called Polygraph, and then the pink was Clue Overlooked. And I have not been able to get over the pink and the red combination since the jean sweater came out. And I know there's a tea version, I think, coming out, so I'm really hoping to make that sometime in the summer, but we'll get to that when we get to that. The colorway and everything was really beautiful, and I'm not sure what the black and the yellow yarn was because there was no label on it. I also added the Happy Palm by Deegan that was also provided from Tea Cozy Yarn Shop, and that's all Emily's idea. I think the happy face, the smiley pom-pom really does make the beret. It just adds a really fun look to the overall already fun beret, and it's a pop of color. I really enjoyed making it. This beret is color work, but there is also ribbing, so it does look like it hasn't stretched out or it's not blocked flat, but it is because of that ribbing portion, and I think it kept me on my toes. I really love how it decreased. I think it turned out very beautifully, and if you are ever at Tea Cozy or you see this beret, I think there aren't that many projects on it on Ravelry, but I would definitely recommend this beret pattern if you are looking for one. I think that it's very fun, and I'm definitely open to making it again. This week was really busy making the Sleuth Beret as well as finishing this, but I also did have some really good progress in my works in progress. I cast on 2 new works in progress, as well as made some movements forward in my Vertices Unite, which I will show you first. So as I said last week, I'll probably do 1 section a week if I can manage it. So I'm kind of backtracking now because this third section I think is quite large as well, so we'll see how it goes. This is what I have so far, and I think it goes this way. So yes, in the picture, Stephen West is holding it like this. This is the Vertices Unite by Stephen West. I'm making it in US 4 3.5 millimeter needles with Frankie Gray Fibers Hybrid Knit Along Kit from 2023. And this is really drapey. I still love how it looks. I am currently on this section where it almost creates a rectangle, or it does create a rectangle, and I have to go until the edge of here, and then we have more pieces going from there. But this is the 4th darkest color, so for this one I use the 5th darkest color and the 2nd lightest color. For this I used the 1st and the 3rd colors, and now we're on the 4th. You can really tell that this yarn is a tonal. There are some lighter spots here, and I think for the other parts you couldn't really tell because it is striped. But for this, because it is a solid, you can, and I'm really liking it. I think it definitely has that monochrome look to it, but still has interest. I'm really excited to also see how big this will become because it's already quite big, and I know that from this end it will go up a little bit as well, so I think it will become quite a good size. I'm really enjoying the process of making a shawl. I'm not really a shawl knitter because I don't really wear shawls or scarves right now in my life right now. I think when I lived in colder climates, like when I used to live in Toronto, I used to wear a lot more when I lived in Korea, but as of now, it is something that I'm looking to gift, and so we'll see how it comes out. And I'm just really happy with the progress of this as well. So for the Vertices Unite, I'll try not to be too repetitive every week other than the basic information, and just let you know on the progress, unless I make super progress one week, but I doubt that will happen in the coming weeks because I have so many projects that I want to knit on. My next project is held in this bag. I got it, I think, in in September when we went to Disneyland. There is the end gate at SeaTac Airport has a shop. I think it might be called Made in Washington, or it is in that overarching, I think Made in Washington also sells it online, but I thought that this was so appropriate for Seattle, and I love it. It's by a company called Challow & Co, and I wanted to show it off because I think it's very cute. And I know that fish are super in. I know there are quite a few fish patterns out there right now, and I just wanted to show a little bit of my own, even though the thing in here is nothing related to fish. The project that's in this bag is Phoebe Top Mini by Aimee Sher, and I am currently testing this. So the Phoebe Top for adults is out, and you can, I'll have a picture for what that looks like. And this is the mini. It looks really small, but it will stretch out with the cables, and it's because the needle that I have it on is quite small, so it makes it easy to go in the round. It is a really beautiful bottom up tank top, and it has cable detailing on it. It is made, I'm currently making mine with Knitting for Olive cotton merino, which is one of the recommended yarns, and it is a light fingering weight, so I think that it will be perfect for summer. Although I don't usually make my kids clothes in merino, I have other summer, or I guess 100% cotton yarns or linen yarn, but they're not pink, and my daughter, currently my 3-year-old, is very into pink. She is in the 99th percentile though for height, so I had to sign up for the 5-year-old size, and I'm really happy I got in. I think the cabling is turning out really nicely, and this is one of those projects where also the cabling is very repetitive and you know exactly when it's coming up, so it's really nice. You don't need to look at the chart all the time, you just need to make sure you keep count until the length before you split for the sleeves, or for the front and the back rather, because it is a sleeveless top. And I'm really happy. The color that I'm using is Knitting for Olive cotton merino in rhubarb rose, and this is what it looks like. This is leftover from my Sophiso top that I made last year, and I will probably wear that top, I guess, in the next episode, when this is probably will be finished by then, because I don't anticipate this being a long-term project. And I had 2 of these balls that are just the size, as well as the 1 full ball, and I think that will give me exactly the amount I need. So I just need to make sure that I don't make my top too much longer than what Aimee suggests in her pattern, because I don't have that much yarn. And this top is knit mostly on a US 3, a 3.25mm needle. These are my Knitter's Pride dreams that I got when I went on a vacation and I wanted to take wooden needles instead. And I've been really enjoying using these, especially in the size in the US 3 for summer weight garments, because it's smooth, but I think it's not slippery. So I've been really enjoying making this top, and I will definitely, most likely, I would say, have it as a finished object for next week. So my final work in progress is also very exciting to me, as they all are, but this is a lightweight top. I just cast it on yesterday and I've already joined in the round. I've just joined in the round, and this is Sophorine by Audrey Borrego, and Audrey is no longer, she's stepping away from being a knitting designer, and so she made all of her patterns. There are so many patterns that she's designed, very beautiful patterns, and she's made them for free, and so it is a free pattern if you are interested. It is a v-neck tank top, or you could add sleeves in it, but I'm choosing to do a tank top for now. I think I'll have to try it on and see if it will look better as a tee or if I want to keep it as a tank. And I started this yesterday, but I've already joined in the round because it is a lightweight knit, and I think after I knit this, the Baci sweater, I was just really excited to do more summery garments, and it's my first time using this yarn, which is Sandisgarn Tin Line, and I really wanted to try it because I've heard so many good things about it. This is in the color 9825, which is a very popular color. I think I call it a lighter Kermit frog color before. I think the correct word for it is chartreuse. The color name of this, I think, is Sunny Lime, so take what you will from that, but I really enjoy knitting with it. It is quite splitty. I think a lot of people said the thing that they have against the Tin Line, or the Line in general, is that it's quite splitty, and it's because it's not super tightly plied. But I find that, I'm not sure if you can see, but there are places where there is a line, or there is a yarn strand that comes loose, and I checked to see if you can see it from the front, and if it doesn't show, then I don't go back and fix it, because I fixed a few of them, and I think most of the times if it's not noticeable, then it's something that doesn't really bother me. There was one knot in this one skein, so that's what I do. I just leave it out and then I cut it and weave in the ends later. This is still my first skein, so I think I might only need 100 grams if I'm making the tank version, but of course I'll update you on that when I come back and I'm done this. I'm not sure when I will finish it, but it is a really enjoyable knit now that it's just mindless. Even before it was enjoyable, I do like the construction of this. So for the Sophorine tank, you actually start with the front 2 panels first. So you start with short rows, and then you do the left, you do the right, and then you do the back from the front. So you're attaching it here, and then you're doing short rows, and then knitting the shoulder, and then casting on and doing the back as well. And because it is a free pattern, I feel comfortable sharing it now because you're able to access it. The thing I really enjoy about this is that it also comes with bust darts. Not a lot of knitting garments come with bust darts. I think it's because it just, everybody's body is so different, and depending on the ease, it's also hard to gauge. But she goes step by step on if you do need bust darts. And she says if you are a B cup or a higher, or if you're at least a B cup, which doesn't apply to me because I would say I'm an A on a really good day. So I am knitting the size 2, and I think I will have maybe half an inch of positive ease. I may have no positive ease, but that's fine. And I am really looking to finishing this, and so I will keep you updated on the progress. But just know that if you are looking for a really nice tank top pattern that goes through bust darts as well, I would check out Sophorine because it is so easily accessible, and I am really enjoying the process of knitting it. Those are my current finished objects as well as works in progress, and that's all I have to share today. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't yet, please check out the giveaway that I'm running. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.